All the people that came, let me hear you, hooligan!
He seems to be seeing these the striking very well.
Oh, he hurt him with that uppercut. All right, he's got to be careful.
Alan Baum!
What's up, man?
Yo, what's up?
What up?
Aha.
Shit, another day.
The HFC champion.
HFC champ. How you doing, man?
Not
Not anymore.
Not
I'm
anymore.
doing good, man. I'm doing good, you know, just chilling. How you doing?
Been a very slow day. Just doing a lot of stupid stuff at home for my dad. You know how that is. Just a bunch of.
Yeah.
He's like
I've
redoing
been
the
there
bathroom.
before.
So we have to take a bunch of tile and crap out. So like that's what that noise was. He was just like working. So anyway.
It's all good, man. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like, what do you bits come home from doing anything yourself, or like you? I see you were running before. You wear like the Guy Fawkes mask.
Yeah, that V for Vendetta.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's a great movie.
Oh, hell yeah. Especially now, it kind of relates, huh?
It's almost like we live in it, you know. Just nobody blew up anything.
Right.
Speaking
Well,
of speaking of, we're in November.
Yeah, and November.
Hey, and then you got the curfews, too, coming in.
Right? Oh my God, we're
That's
already
kinda
like
crazy.
in our state. I don't know about you, but we're only allowed like 10 people. You're not allowed any more than 10 people around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. I don't think Indiana's like that. I think they know, like, if they try some shit like that, we're gonna be like, nah, fuck you. You know what I mean? Especially in a small town like this, man, you know, like, especially me, I know, like, all the cops around here, and they're not really enforcing shit.
That's good.
Which, I don't blame them, you know what I mean? Personally, I've had the coronavirus. I actually just going back to work tomorrow, and like I said, I've been running 7 miles every day.
Wow. So
what I
when
mean?
did you get it? What was the symptoms for you?
I just lost my taste and my smell.
Really?
That was it.
You went nose blind.
No respiratory shit. The
Yeah.
only thing that happened was I was drinking my coffee one morning at work, and 1 minute I could taste it, and then 1 minute it went away.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was weird as hell.
So does it just taste like water?
It actually, no, it don't taste like, you can't even taste water. Like, nothing has a taste. It's
Wow.
literally just bland.
It's just like passing
can't
through
taste.
you.
Yeah.
Right. Dude, you could eat a clove of garlic and you wouldn't be able to taste.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird because the respiratory thing, going back to that, like I heard from tons of people, they're like, oh, I'm out of breath. One dude I trained with, Colin, he's like, yeah, I couldn't get upstairs, and like, I'm like at work and I'm just like coughing and heaving. I'm like, oh, I guess that's a coronavirus.
Yeah. I was kind of worried about, like, because I wasn't feeling any respiratory effects from it. So I was like, I'm not about to just stay at home and get out of shape. You know what I mean? I worked too hard to get in shape, and then I'm not about to be sitting at home for 2 weeks not doing anything. So I got my dog, and we usually go on runs in the morning before work. And
Nice.
we went on a run, and it was only a 4-mile run to start. And then I was like, I feel fine. And I brought him home and then went back out and ran 3, and I just kept that routine.
Oh, so you did
For
3 more
yesterday.
on top of the 4?
Yeah, because I wasn't going
Wow.
to take my dog. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to take him for 7 miles. He was already tired.
Wow. Outran the dog, man.
Yeah. Hey, the first 2 miles, he's going, though. He's going.
What kind of dog do you have?
Yeah.
He's a German Shepherd Husky mix.
Oh,
That's cool.
Yeah.
your dog probably looks wild.
Oh, dude, he's dope. Like, Huskies usually got the real light blue eyes.
Yes.
And Shepherds usually got the dark brown. So he's got, like, the coolest brown eyes I've ever seen.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And then he's got the shepherd face with like the husky body, like furry, but not like fluff. You know what I mean?
What's the size? Is he medium, or is it like really? He's kind of a bigger dog.
Well, shepherds are like skinny. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And huskies are kind of bulkier, not like muscle wise, but just like for the winters and stuff like that. And he's right in the middle. He's skinny but bulky at the same time. And then you got the shepherd and the husky bloodline, and that's just energized. You know what I mean? He's go, go, go all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine. That's cool.
I wish I had a sled for this winter.
Why, like, it'd be awesome, right? Just have him take you and just run.
Yeah.
Getting you a reality TV show with that, too. So did you catch any of the fights?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't get the card, but I watched all the prelims.
Oh, okay. So I don't think we got to. I think we just watched. I got the Figueiredo fight. I didn't get to see. I saw everything else basically.
I seen the Figueiredo highlights, and the dude, he's legit.
He hits hard for
Legit.
his size, you know.
He hits hard, and his ground game's pretty good too. You know, I think the only fight that I've seen him lose is the Jared Brooks. And that was in Brazil, Jared Brooks. But he got the decision. Figueiredo did because it was in Brazil. And it was very controversial.
Right.
And Jared took him down like 9 times, and they gave it to Figueiredo.
But it depends, like, how they're scoring it, right? Like, these octagon rules are. Sometimes you're in one, like, I don't know what Brazil does. In the States, right, it's like the 2-hand rule. Then there's like the 1 hand on the mat rule. So, like, I don't know if that changes. They doing it for octagon control, or are they doing it for striking that night? I don't know what they do in Brazil.
Right, I don't know either. But like, it wasn't even controversial on my eyes. Like, I thought it was like unanimous Jared Brooks.
Oh, see, I didn't even see that fight. That's interesting.
There's a little biasy there too, for me.
Would you ever fight in Brazil though? That'd be pretty cool though.
Well, when I was fighting, yeah, I would have loved to travel and fight. It's kind of hard to do with a full-time job and stuff like that. But as far as if I was a full-time fighter, full-time trainer, could do anything I wanted, hell yeah, I would love to go in enemy territory and throw down.
When you fought, what was like the most you like traveled to fight?
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, Chicago. And it was when my first 3 months of fighting, I went back to back to back. 3 months in a row. It was September, October, November. I fought in Chicago 3 times in a row. And that was my first year. And then my second year, I started fighting for HFC. And then that was kind of like in Indiana, but on the border of the Chicago-Indiana line. I always travel, dude. I live in the boondocks. You know what I mean?
You only have in Hannah. There's like, how big's the population of that town? It's small.
400 people.
Wow.
Maybe if that.
And so you almost told me in the DMs when we were going back, maybe this is even going back last year, that you must have like a little bit of a fight culture there. I mean, the whole Midwest does, but your town specifically, you said you remember just cousins and friends, you'd be fighting in the backyard?
Well, that's what we did for fun. Yeah, but it wasn't MMA based or anything. It was just street fights, you know. I grew up with an older brother, and we would literally fight every day. We played basketball growing up, and every time we get on the court, it was a fight, and everybody knew it. If we were playing, like, we had to play on each other's team in order not to fight. You know what I mean? But as far as like the fight culture, I wouldn't say everybody fought in Hannah. But if there was some conflict, it was gonna get settled on a back road or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's weird because even the whole Midwest, the way your rule set is, I was telling Manuel, like over here, we have amateur rules that you can't ground and pound, but over there, you guys can, but you can't elbow.
Right, and no knees to the face.
Yeah, yeah, that's a real important one.
Yeah, no elbows and no knees to the face. Which doesn't make sense to me. I don't. As an amateur in Indiana, uh, you can eat a shin, but you can't eat a knee or an elbow. You can get a little shin sandwich, but you can't, taste a knee or elbow. That doesn't make sense to me.
No.
But that's what makes you an amateur, and that's where the money comes into play. You know what I mean? They got to make some kind of bullshit rule to say, well, you can't get paid, so they can make their bank, and you walk away with a few injuries and a couple $100.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's
That's all. That's promotion and commission. You know what I mean? They got to make their money. Fuck the fighter.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the kind of culture that needs to change because they don't really care unless you bring in people into the stands too. Like, it's kind of like a business like that as well, is it not?
Oh, it's very much a very selfish, fuck you type business. It's I'm gonna get mine before you get yours, and that's in every sense. Unless you're affiliated with the team, like the only thing that has your back when you walk into that stadium or that arena is your team. That's it. That's the only thing that has your backs and has your best interest is your team when you walk into that. And that's why it is so, I don't know how it is down there in New Jersey, but there's like rivalries up here. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that gym. No, fuck that gym type shit.
There's a bit of that here too. But yeah.
And that's what, that comes with I wouldn't even call MMA a sport. It's a fight game. I'm not.
Any competitive field?
Is it a sport? Do you guys think it's a sport, or do you think it's just a fucking fight game?
I think there's two mentalities to that. It's a great question because, like, if you think it's a sport, I think you're gonna fight different than if you think it's a fight game.
100%. At the end of the day, it's a fight. It's not a sport. You know what I mean? There's rules, but at the end of the day, it's a fight. You're not going in there to score 20 points. You're going in there to fucking kill someone. At least I was. You know what I mean? When I went in there, I would say a prayer before I walked in. Like, if I die, just make sure, my family's good.
Yeah, like you're putting it all in
every
there.
fight.
Yeah.
I was willing to die in the cage every time I fought. I didn't give a fuck. But, shit changes. And everybody changes. You evolve or you disappear. You know what I mean? And I started changing towards the end of my career. Like, is this, something I want to do? Is this... Because at the end of the day, everybody can say what they want to say. Oh, I love fighting. I'll fight for free, this or that. I was that guy. Trust me. You can ask my teammates. I was that guy when I first started. And I was like, I'll fight for free. That's how much I love this shit. Like, but then, you start evolving, changing. You're getting injuries, knick-knack injuries. You start thinking about life. You're maturing as an adult. And it wasn't so much like the love. I wasn't fighting for the love of the game. I was fighting to pay bills. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
And when there's no money involved, unless you're in the UFC, you know what I mean? And me, I can bang still. You know what I mean? I could sign up and get a fight in March if I wanted to. Do I want to? No. Is there aspects and goals in my life? Hell yeah. Without goals, what are you?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What are you pushing for? I have different goals now. You know what I mean? Before it was almost like a kill mentality, like I'm gonna get mine, and I still have that mentality when it comes to certain stuff, but it's not in the fight game. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, let's kind of talk about, like, for you as a person that got into mixed martial arts. Like, you didn't come from a martial arts background, and almost what you're telling me in a sense is like this is kind of what you learned from your training. You brought that into life.
100%. MMA definitely saved my life because the reason I got in MMA was I had demons from my past. Everybody has demons. I don't care who you are. You could be raised right. You could be raised wrong. You're going to have demons to some sort. And every time I went in the cage, I let my demons come out to play. You know what I mean? And at the beginning of my career, you could see it. I was in there to hurt you. I wanted to hurt you. I wanted to kill you. Towards the end of my career, I'm helping my opponent up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, like, you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out in this fucking game or you're going to get hurt, especially when you elevate your game and go to the pro level. You know what I mean? And then, because like I said, I played basketball my whole life. You know what I mean? And basketball isn't a very humbling sport. It's not. I don't care what anybody says. You're not going to get humbled playing basketball. So when you walk into an MMA gym, your ass is going to get humbled. You can think you're the big dog on the street all you want, but if you have no history of training, street fights don't matter. You could be 110-0 in a street fight type thing.
Yep.
But once you walk in an MMA gym, you're going to get humbled. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened. And then that made me hungry to want to get better and learn and evolve. Like I said, you either evolve or you disappear. And that happens in all the MMA gyms.
Right, because, it's not a team sport. You're out. It's like, even like wrestling's like that, too. You're out there. It's just you. You're on a court with a bunch of people on a team. You could say it's that guy. You could say it's Johnny. You could Bobby or whatever. When you, like you said, the problems you deal with striking, you can't blame them on anyone. You get hit. That's your fault. Those are consequences that there are no excuses.
Right. You got to learn to not get hit. You know what I mean?
100%.
I will say basketball did help me with my footwork when I transitioned to fighting. It definitely did help me with my footwork because basketball is all footwork. Whether you're playing offense or defense, you're moving. You know what I mean? And you see that I'm not the first basketball player to ever transition from basketball to. I mean, Bryce Mitchell, he used to play basketball growing up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the foot, well, he wrestled too, but I'm just saying, like, when it comes to striking, it's a decent transition. It's not hard.
Well, what do you think was footwork-wise? Do you think it was the balance, or is it the movement? Because in basketball, you're kind of constantly dribbling and moving. Do you think that's...
If you look at boxing, or especially at the elite level, they always say when you're flat-footed, you're in trouble. And basketball, you're always on your toes, whether it's defense or offense. It's quick transitions. You see boxers, they're in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, and they're always on the toes of their feet. They're never on the balls of their feet. That's where it helped me. That's where the footwork came into play.
That translates well.
Yeah, dude, that 100%. I wouldn't even have thought of that. See, like, I'm like smaller guy. How tall are you for basketball, right? Because I'm like 5'6".
5'9".
Okay, so that's just a start. Yeah, like, for me, I don't understand that transition because I only played it in recess, and you've probably been playing at least in school, right, somewhere, or?
Well, yeah, I've been playing since I was probably like 3 or 4. My dad was a legit basketball player. He could have went somewhere with it, but decided to go to the Army, which respect. But he had D1 offers and stuff like that.
Nice.
And I learned about that when I was like 5 or 6. I had an older brother. He's like 32. He started taking me to his basketball games, and I just fell in love with it. And when I remember specifically making my first shot on a 10-foot basketball hoop. And ever since then, I was down to ride. You know, I was playing basketball.
You're hooked.
Wow, nice. So what's your, because I'm not a basketball dude, I don't really know too much. What's your favorite team, if I could ask you, and player?
Favorite player?
Sure, and team, I guess.
Ever?
Yeah, why not?
Michael Jordan.
Word.
Yeah. Easy.
I mean, he's the dude that would say, what is it, the quote with, only reason I'm successful is all the times I've failed?
Yeah, I got it tatted on the side of my ribs.
Oh, no. Oh, really? That's dope, man.
Yeah, I failed over and over again, and that is why I succeed. He's got a bunch of good shit, man. I got a book right here, Mindset, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, man. You know, it might be a good transitional mindset of, like, let's go talk a little about when you started doing martial arts. You know, the mindset, not even you just being in your fight career. You walk into an MMA gym and you were like an overweight kid, right? You were, or am I right or wrong about that? And then
Yeah, I was hefty. I was about 230 when I first walked in. But it was never like, it was to lose weight. But you can ask one of my coaches, Brandon Showhart, one of my coaches at the time when I fought, because I am retired. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
But, from MMA at least. When I walked in, he asked me, why do you want to fight? And I told him, like, it was never a weight loss thing. It was, I want to be something. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it wasn't just, I wanted to be world champion. I didn't want to be an amateur champion. Like, to me, I said in my interview in my last fight, like, amateur belts don't really mean shit to me. You know what I mean? I wanted the gold. And when I walked in there, it was to get healthy. It was to lose weight. But at the end of the day, my main goal was I wanted to fight at 135. And I walked in at 230. So I wanted to lose 95 pounds.
Wow.
I couldn't do it.
It's a big goal.
I could not do it. I got down to 155 and 145, but that 135 is unreachable for your boy.
Oh, wow, man. That's amazing, though. You got really close. That's a lot of weight, dude.
Yeah, it is. It is. Now, I haven't been hefty my whole life. After high school, I kind of blew up, started partying. We'd throw like 150 people bangers at my house. And
oh, that's awesome.
Like
He's
Monday,
got
Tuesday.
You got half the whole town there, he goes.
Right. And it wasn't just weekends. It was Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. There was times when people would just show up at my house on Saturday thinking it was a party.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
But that hooligan army comes from.
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
That's where they all came from.
That's cool.
People always ask, you know, how do you get so many people to come to your fight? You're from a small town. I'm from a small town, but like everything's loyal around here. Loyalty is everything in a small town. So if I fuck with you when I was, 14 and I haven't seen you, and then they see you doing something, you know what I mean? They're gonna come out to support.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you barely get that anyway.
That's like real community.
100%.
Right. Well, you gotta think, the closest thing to me as far as like grocery shopping or anything like that, it's like 25 minutes away. And that's everywhere.
So
you know what I mean? Which isn't bad, but that's no traffic. That's a straight shot.
Oh, wow.
So you're driving 70 there.
Wow. Just gunning it just to get some, like, pineapples.
Yeah. In Jersey, everything's close, but it takes a while because there's so much traffic.
That's what I'm saying. So when I say 25 minutes, people are like, oh, so it's probably like what, 10 miles away? No, it's like 25 miles away.
Yeah.
Wow. So when you had those...
I'm not complaining.
No, yeah, I mean, it's a different culture to have that instead of coming from a city or, like, a big town, Might even be cool.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't do the city life. I wouldn't even try.
Yeah, I'm either. I'm more like a mountain kind of outdoors person. Like I can visit this, especially now. I wouldn't go to the city, but like a year or two ago, I'll visit it. I'm not living there though.
Yeah, I mean, I love visiting the city, and I would like this December if Chicago's open. You know what I mean? If they're open, but they ain't having Thanksgiving yet. If they're open, I'll go ice skating and shit there. Take my girl there and
There you go.
enjoy the view. You know, the lights, the snow. It's an awesome place. Not hating on it. It's not for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you think about it, where I come from, I probably say I live to 60, right? I'll probably only spend a year of my life waiting, whether it's for food, for gas, you know. But if you move to the city, you're probably spending about 5 to 6 years of your life waiting in traffic to get food, Starbucks, you know. So I get 5 to 6 more years than somebody who lives in the city.
Wow, I never even thought about that. So interesting.
Yeah.
Yo, he's so good at that. Like, you're actually really good at, like, thinking of, like, I guess, I don't know whether I call that deep or not, but, like, it's introspective as, like, fuck. Because, like, I remember he was telling me we're talking about amateur fighting or just fighting in general. And he's like, man, if you only think about it, like, out of everybody in the United States, maybe 100,000 people or a little bit over.
Fight.
Not a fight.
Like, like, there's probably more that know how to fight when it comes to, like, training and stuff like that. Because if you go to a gym, there's probably only 4 to 5 fighters, at least around here. Maybe 6 fighters in that whole gym. But that gym has, like, 20 people in it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in the whole United States, there's probably only 100,000 people who actually know what it's like to get in that cage and fight.
Exactly. We're not talking about people who know, people who are fighters, completely different.
Right. Because you could hit a fighter in the face and he's going to eat it and like it. And you hit somebody who just trains in the face, it's a little different.
It's totally different. You know, they have the condition, the mindset. Some people are just nasty fucks, you know, like they're just, they can just deal with that.
Yeah, and it takes a certain screw to be loose to enjoy fighting. You know what I mean?
100%.
I enjoy fighting. I enjoy training. I enjoy it. I'm just not for, what would you say? I'm not a very big eyes on me type of person.
Attention.
You know what I mean?
Attention, right?
Yeah, I'm not an attention whore. I don't like it. You know?
And that's
I could live by myself and with my family for the rest of my life and be 100% okay with it. And not see a soul that if I don't see somebody I don't like or I don't know, it doesn't bother me. Some people, like if I posted a picture and it only gets 2 likes, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm posting it for my, enjoyment, not yours.
Well, that's the other thing
You know
people get caught
if that
on.
makes sense.
You're right. They get this whole, their happiness has to do with what they post and what they, get as likes. And then they feel like a piece of shit because they only got like 2 likes on their cat video or whatever, It's like.
Right. And if that bothers you, you got a hell of a life coming to you.
Yeah.
Because when your boss tells you you're fucking lazy bum, that's going to hurt your feelings a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. And it's just, this whole culture is instant gratification for everything. And that's why I really like the fact of martial arts, whether you're being a fighter or not. Like, there is no instant gratification. There is no, you did shit wrong, or there was reality you have to face. There's no sugarcoating anything. There's no third, second place prizes. I think we need more.
What I like about MMA or even combat sports in general, and I'm sure it goes for boxers, wrestlers, or anybody, I learn way more from my losses than my wins.
100%, man. 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that taught me a lot about life. And I couldn't be more grateful for. I'll always participate in combat. If Emmanuel needs a training partner, I'm there. You know what I mean? Which that's gonna come to fruition very soon. after I am cleared from this bullshit ass virus. It's complete bullshit to me. I'm only talking from my perspective, but dude, it's complete bullshit. But I'll always be in the fight game as far as training goes. Now, whether that's jiu-jitsu, strike, it doesn't matter. Like, I just love the game.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fight game.
Right.
But I'm not going to sit here and be one of these guys and tell you, you can expect to see me. I'm an honest dude. If, when I'm done, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of these dudes like Conor McGregor and say, I'm done, I'm retired, and then come out, 3 months later and have a fight. You'll never see me post online or anything. I have a fight coming up. Now, unless it was for like if somebody I knew came down with like cancer or something like that, I would fight to raise money.
Makes sense.
I would do something like that. But as far as like trying to make it a career, I have a good career. You know what I mean? I like my job. I like what I do. And they like me, I think, so.
100%, man. Like, it's just a chapter in your life, you know what I mean? And fighting isn't life, it's just a part of life, It taught you some things, and that's great. But, like, I want to go back for a second. I really liked what you said when you talked about when you walked into a gym. And you're like, I didn't know whether I wanted an amateur title or a world title. But you were like, I want a world title in a mindset. Do you think if someone's an amateur fighter and they step into a gym, any gym, you have to think like that even if you're not going to get there? You don't want to come in there and be like, oh, I want this low goal. It's better to be like, you come in there and you're like, I want to be a world champion.
Yeah, I could agree. My dad always told me, do it to your best or don't do it at all, and that was with anything other than school for me. I thought that was a waste of time.
A little bit, yeah.
But, I mean, it's just obedient. It's what these masks are all about, obedience.
Yep. They're bitch muzzles.
Right. If you wear them, good for you. But you know what I mean. I'm not gonna hate on people who decide to wear them and want to wear them.
Right.
But don't tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean. But yeah, it's the right attitude to have, I think, in any aspect of life. If you walk into your job, and this is what I told Emmanuel, you walk into your job, and I don't know about you, but I almost get giddy on my first day, to do my best to push the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my boss every other month, I want to know who has the numbers on this machine, so I can beat them. Everything is a competition with me. Everything. So every day, I try to at least. I can't say every day is 100% grand because I'd be fucking lying. But every day I wake up, I'm going to work, and I'm going to act like it's my first day. And that mindset for me anyway, I haven't always been like that. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many jobs I've quit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Before MMA, it was fuck you. I was
fucking leave.
Not right. I'm not in the mind. Oh, you telling me what? No, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like that badass mentality. But that only gets you so far in life. And like I said, you evolve or you disappear. And I knew I have to get a decent job in my life in order to make it. I don't want to be somebody who is a mooch. You know what I mean? And I see my dad do it, so I know I can do it. And that's just my mindset every morning I wake up. That goes for anything. When I go to the gym, I'm trying to beat what I did the day before. I know you guys only see snippets of what I do as far as gym goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it that way, like this whole week I've only been running 7 miles, and then boom, I show you guys the 14 miles. But you only see that 14 miles, so in your mind, you only think I ran 14 miles this week. But really, I've been putting in work all fucking week.
Oh, shit.
You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I'm just not a very posty person. I'm not a very attention type person. I like me and mine. Like you guys respected me. You guys were my first and only sponsor. I never had one sponsor my whole fight career until my last fight. You guys.
It was a pleasure, 100%.
And well, that was dope. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up watching, you know, Matt Serra, George St. Pierre, all these guys, and I remember the sponsors on the shorts, the logo. You know what I mean? And that shit was dope to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got it together and we started linking through Emmanuel, let's not fool anybody. It was through Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm.
He hooked me up with reaching out to you guys, and I just thought it was dope as hell to have a sponsor who, you know, you guys aren't getting a big push. You guys aren't Reebok. You guys, you know, but you guys are finding good talent. It's not like you're just, you know, sponsoring Joe Blow. You guys, I've seen multiple fighters. Who's the one guy? Fuck, Kevin.
Kevin Worth?
Yeah,
that dude.
Yes.
That dude is legit. The Sydney
Outlaw.
Sydney Outlaw.
Dude,
Mm-hmm.
legit as fuck. Like I've kept up with all that. You know, Emmanuel.
Thank you, man.
Emmanuel, legit. It's not just like. Now, if I would have went on there and seen some like, I'm a winner. I like winners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've seen some 0-8, 0-6 fighters, and you know they're posting home videos of them training before a fight. I'm not gonna fuck with you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I did my research. I knew you guys. You know what I mean?
100%. I appreciate that, man. That's really cool of you. And a lot of it has to do with my dad when he wrote for Black Belt magazine, and there was no social media.
Well, we were exposed as...
I was exposed to these world-class grapplers, strikers, and I met Matt Serra as I was growing up and stuff like that. So I had a really good eye for talent. Like, everything that you see from fighter to fighter, I picked that out, me and my brother, but I do more martial arts than he does. And just from meeting people all those years, I'm able to go like, no, this guy's got something. Whether that be personality and skill or whether the guy's got crazy skill, I need people that stand out. And I wanted this brand to be something that would help people who are aspiring athletes that have talent that never get the fucking time of day. And they spend as much time as these pros do. And they have no money. And they're, like you said, they're fighting for just money and you're not even fighting for the love of the sport anymore. Well, fuck that. I want to be big enough where I can support guys, give them money, so they can just focus on the love of doing it.
Because you couldn't do it yourself.
Well, yeah, that's right. I forgot to say this, too. Like, I couldn't even, like, I don't know if you know this about me. I couldn't go be pro and do a fight and become a fighter because of my stomach disease I had when I was 18. And I was young and I did kickboxing.
I remember when we talked the first time you had started telling me about that.
Oh, okay.
But look, you could have gave up and just, you know,
100%.
said fuck it and not done anything and been the dude on your dad's couch downstairs in his basement eating potato chips doing not a damn thing saying, oh, I could beat that guy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
Yep. And there's a lot of those
damn
dudes.
thing. Oh, dude. Especially around here.
Oh, shit, really? They're everywhere, you know?
Yeah, everywhere. I mean, I'm not a bar guy, like I said, you know. I'm not into going out. I'm a homebody, you know. I just like the people I like, and I chill with them, you know.
That's how I do. I'd rather
Right.
drink with a group of people I like than go out to a group of people I don't fucking know.
Right, and, you know, 8 times out of 10 around here, somebody's going to get ballsy and try to test themselves because that's the fighter at the end of the bar.
Yep. And they got that liquid
And
courage.
you don't, and maybe back in the 90s or early 2000s, they would do a one-on-one scrap, but now you got to worry about guns and knives.
totally different world.
Nah, if you didn't have to worry about guns and knives, I'd be at the bar every weekend.
Right, 100%. Nothing to worry about.
100%.
Because you got a
Yeah.
bunch of fucking pussies and assholes, mostly pussies, so they rather do shit where if they're going to talk shit, they're either far away from you on their keyboard or they got a bunch of buddies to back them up. And that's the culture we
Yeah,
live
I
in.
mean, it's very rare you find somebody. I know firsthand Emmanuel is like that. If you talk some shit to him, it don't matter where, it don't matter, who's around, whether he has a group, 100, or just him. Like, it's very rare you find somebody like that that has the balls enough to say, no, fuck you. I mean, I've seen it firsthand more than once.
I bet. Didn't he jump the cage? Was that your fight that he jumped
No.
No, that was someone. That was
Peyton's.
Peyton's fight. That was Peyton's fight.
Teammate Peyton's right after my fight. I was in the back of the room taking a piss test. I couldn't piss. I don't know if you guys know about nerves or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dude, before a fight, I would piss probably 6 times.
You know what that is? It's the fight or flight thing. When you're a human being and you're about to go on any competition, even for jiu-jitsu for me, you'll just feel like emptying your body. Because what you're doing is your mind and your whole process is preparing for war.
Yes. I called it preparing for death. Like, people would always say, like, what does it feel like before a fight? And it's just like your nerves are... This is the best way I can explain it. When you're getting ready to fight, you're in the back room. You say your co-main event, your main event. You get to the fucking place at 4. Fights don't start till 6. You're not coming out until like 10:30. So you have all this time, and you just cut 10, 15 pounds, sometimes 20, and you're rehydrated, you're refueled. Your body can't hold fucking 2 gallons of water. And you're not gonna piss? You kidding me? Like, I would go piss all my liquids out before a fight, and then have to take a drug test after if it was a title fight. So I'm in the back room. I'm taking this piss test. I can't piss. Like, I'm racing my opponent at the time to see who could piss first.
Another competition.
Right. And all of a sudden, the fight's over.
The HFC pissing champion.
Peyton comes in. He's fucking furious.
Right.
And the dude was like talking shit to our whole team, like disrespectful as fuck. And
What was he saying?
like I said, I wasn't there.
Okay.
I don't know. You know what I mean? I think he was just like fuck you type shit to the corner and stuff like that. And Emmanuel, like I said, it's very rare you find somebody who's like fuck you at that very moment and has the balls enough. A lot of people say they are, but very few are, and Emmanuel is.
Yeah, you don't even know that unless that moment happens. Your true colors come out. Have you ever had something like that outside the ring with him? Like, you guys ever hang out outside of training? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, a few times. Have we? Mostly after training, we'll hang out and kick it.
Right.
Like he's been to my house, but like it's never been like, hey, come over and play PS5, because he's like me. He focused on what he wants.
Right.
As far as like hanging out, watching fights, we would do that after, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Hang out in the car, chill. Back then I was smoking big joints, and we were just chilling, kick it.
Right. Another thing, did you use like any CBD when you fought? Like, what were like things you would take for recovery?
At the time, for recovery, I was using CBD, the drops under the tongue. For the pain, I was smoking hella weed.
Right.
I smoked a lot. Like, I don't anymore, you know, and I don't knock it or anything
Oh,
like
really?
that.
So that's
Yeah, I
interesting. You
don't.
did it for fighting, and so you weren't smoking before fighting.
Oh yeah, yeah. The first time I smoked weed, I was 9 years old.
Okay, so that makes Try and make sense of this.
Um, the reason I quit is because I thought I never could. It's not like and like obviously I had my job and shit like that. You know, I
Okay.
had the same job before, but I wasn't thinking like I'm thinking now. You know what I mean? If I
Nice.
get hurt at work, I got to get a piss test. Or if I hit somebody, you know, going to Walmart and I kill them, I'm getting piss tested, and then I'm going to fucking jail for manslaughter or something like that. It's just those kind of things are running through my head. I got a motorcycle now. If I was to, you know, fuck something up on that, I would get piss tested. There's just a lot of variables that go into it. I wish it was legal, and I wish I could. You know what I mean? But I'm getting my carrier's permit for my gun, and I can't be smoking.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Because I was a chronic weed smoker, like a lot.
So how much did it help you when you recovered? Did you see a key difference from when you didn't smoke and recover than when you?
Yes, especially the mindset.
The mindset. Tell me about that.
So like I said, I only got drug tested for title fights, so that was only 3 times. And when the most stressful part of fighting for me always came like 2 weeks before the fight. That's when you really get in this like medieval fucking mindset of preparing to kill. And that's when whenever I would smoke, this is one of 2 good things of weed, right? It would either, sorry, let me put this up.
That's
It
cool.
would either lock me in, right? And I'm studying tape and I'm fucking excited and ready. I can't say excited because like
You're into it.
nah.
In the flow.
You're in the
Right.
flow.
You're in the zone, you know, and I can't say anybody's really excited to fight. But it would either get me going to a point where I'm good, you know, like I got this dude studied, I'm gonna fuck him up no matter what. The ego comes into play, and you know, it's almost sick and sadistic where you're like, he has no fucking chance, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And then the parent, you know, you smoke a blunt of some other shit, and it has a different reaction where, oh fuck, did I train enough? Fuck, I gotta go run. He's probably running right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and that's good. Both of those things are good in fighting.
It's healthy.
You know,
Wow.
you better be questioning yourself, but you better also think you're going in there to win. So it was a win-win, but those paranoia ones got a little scary sometimes. You know, it'd be 2:00 in the morning, you smoke a fat hooter, and then you go run 7 miles because you think you haven't done enough.
Wow. That's crazy, man. That's awesome.
Do you ever get a runner's high with that too? I'm sure now, like, you feel great from that as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I never understood a runner's high because when I first started, I was only running like 2 or 3 miles, gasping for air, and I'm like, these motherfuckers don't know. Like, this ain't high to me. I'm gonna go home and get high. This ain't high to me. But yeah, it's not first, you know, the first 1 or 2 miles, around 4 to 5 miles that it'll kick in, like where it's just a zone.
Wow.
Tunnel. It's almost like tunnel vision. Yeah, I literally like. Sometimes I won't run with headphones on because like once you get to that 5 to 6 miles, it's like tunnel vision.
Do you feel like you can run longer at that point, right?
Right. You can't really hear yourself breathing. You can't really hear yourself even thinking.
Wow.
It's just doing.
Dude, that's wild.
At least for me.
Yeah, I've heard that from other people too, and other athletes as well. Like, you know, doing other stuff. So me and my brother were really into another thing. Because you love cardio, it's fucking cold where you are, but if you can do this, it'd be great. Is mountain biking. he loves it even more than I do. He's like excels at it with his cardio. And it's like the same type of thing what you get with a high when you do like, I mean, you have to do a little bit more miles, maybe do like 14 and 20 miles, but the runner's high is the same off the mountain bike.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have mountains in Jersey. Do you? No.
Hills.
It's kind of hills, but like
Hills.
there's still you can do it, but it's not really mountains. There's a few
No, I
mountains,
feel what you're saying.
but it's up in New York, and then there's a few. But where I am, I have to travel.
I would like to do something like that. We're gonna link once all this shit's
Oh, for sure.
with and all that shit's done.
We'll exchange some knowledge.
But right. As far as mountain biking goes, when I cut the 145 Tuesdays and Thursdays after work, I would bike 40 miles.
Whoa.
Yeah, 145 was a little weird transition from 55, because 55 I was only cutting 10 pounds and I felt more natural at 55. But you got people who are cutting 25 to 30 pounds at 55. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
You're fighting giants.
Big boys.
And I'm only 5'9", you know. So 45 I felt was my natural weight class as far as people cutting the weight to get there, you know. And I wasn't a huge 45er, but I was a small 55er, if that makes sense.
So you're like caught right in
You know
the
what I
middle, you know?
Right, I got fucked. 150 would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But
So what was it better, more comfortable
Yeah,
for you? Was 45 more comfortable, or fighting anyway, not cutting weight?
55, yeah, 55 was better.
Okay.
Yeah, I like 55. I cut 10 pounds of water weight in 30 minutes.
How much more is the cutting process when you have to do 10 more pounds like that? Are you adjusting diet, or is it more water loading and just...
More diet, and you got to be precise. There's no cheating. At 55, I could cheat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? At 45, I couldn't cheat.
Damn.
No cheating. And to start the 45 cut or camp, I did a 10-week camp instead of an 8-week camp.
Wow.
And it had to be precise. That was it was 7 days. I probably overtrained. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that.
It was probably more of an overtrain, but I've never made 145. I've never even tried. I never did a practice cut, nothing.
Wow.
And this is a title fight, you know.
That's wild.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, you got to be 145. Show up, weigh in at 143. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think the scale was fucked because mine's dead nuts.
Oh, wow. Dude, that's insane.
I think they were doing a pound allowance.
Oh, wow, really? Okay.
For the scale.
For the scale.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Because it could be off, right?
Oh, it was off. Because I was 143 and my opponent was like 143, and I asked him what he was before he left his house, and he said 144 and a half, and I said, yeah, I was the same.
Oh, that's crazy. Another question I wanted to ask you, because it's different states, because we're talking about testing, right? And you said, you were able to smoke. What about other people when they take they don't test for that, so people could take PEDs and performance enhancers and AMIs?
You have no clue.
Right? So tell people about that. They don't know.
Even pros.
Absolutely.
When you're in the local circuits of fighting, you could fucking meet somebody who's juiced up and ready to take your head off. And to me, if it was baseball, team sport, or, football, shit like that, that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Because it's a team sport. Now, and it's probably happening on both sides. When Mark McGuire played Sammy Sosa, it was on both sides. They were both roided. So you had one specific player who was hitting dingers. For football, I'm sure defensive line and offensive line roid up too. So,
yeah.
But with fighting, and Nick Diaz, when he went over to Pride and all that shit, you study his film. he fought a lot of roided motherfuckers, you know, and he never roided. So, or Lance Armstrong, that's an individual sport. That is cheating. When you do it, I think, in combat sports or individual sports, and you're going up against an opponent and they're not doing it, that's fucking cheating.
Because you're not trying to, it's
And-
not like you're breaking records. In baseball, it makes sense. You're trying to hit a ball farther than humanly possible. And
But
when
and
it's
here's the thing
fighting,
with
it's different. Sorry.
100% with baseball, right? I want to see me or you. You're still putting in the work, you know what I mean? But you're not hurting anybody. And it's not an individual sport against other individual people. It's a team sport. Me or you, we take steroids. We practice for 2 months. We're not going to hit 72 home runs like, you know, Mark McGuire and Barry Bonds. And
Right.
that. There's still skill involved, but it's more exciting when they're roiding. I will say that. But fighting, you don't need steroids to be exciting. You know what I mean? And in the local circuit, I know this for 100% fact. The only thing you are tested for is, you know, bloodborne disease like, you know, HIV, AIDS, hepatitis C, hepatitis B, you know, bloodborne pathogens like that. So when you get cut, you're not leaking the fucking disease in somebody's face.
Yeah, yeah.
But I never got tested for any PEDs or anything like that. Neither did any of my opponents. That's never happened. USADA is not involved with the local circuits.
No.
Now I don't know how far that goes as far as like LFA, you know, those kind of organizations. That's almost like the minor leagues for the UFC.
For sure. Yeah.
But I know HFC doesn't. You know, or Fight Card Entertainment or MFL. You know, they can't afford it. You know.
That's what people understand is, you know, they watch the UFC, and yeah, there's people in the UFC that are doing peds too, but it's the Wild West when it's the local scene, like we're saying. And a lot of people, they just don't get that the risk for people to want to get to the UFC, you go through a freak show of dudes that are on stuff, you know, that even people who, you know, they're cheating on their weight, you know, and, you know, there's people who pay off people. There's a whole dirty environment. And like you said, some of those smaller commissions, they can't afford it, but they want to make money on the entertainment, though.
100%. And, dude, I bet, I bet it's happened around here where, like, people are, you know, on amphetamines or something like that and going there and fight.
Yeah. Dude, what about this? I heard you're not allowed to take stimulants when you're a pro. Are you allowed? You're allowed. There's no testing for that, of course, and where you fought.
What, like caffeine?
Yeah.
There was no caffeine allowed in the back room. You couldn't have like a Monster Energy drink. You couldn't have like a thing of coffee. You know, shit like that.
So you could have meth and they won't test, but you could have coffee and they don't want that though.
Well, here's the thing. You could have caffeine in the back room too. It's just don't get caught. Do you see what I'm saying? That's where the testing would have been nice to come into play. You know, and I don't think I fought anybody who's roided or anything like that. You know, I don't give a fuck if I did. You know, I went in there with my own mindset, my own game plan. So whatever they were bringing, I was ready. But I'm just saying, as far as the behind the scenes of amateur and local pro fighting, there is no drug test after the fight unless it's a title fight. You know what I mean? Now, I do know Bellator, when they came to Chicago, it is like they pick certain people on the card, especially if you win. Say if you're local and then you sign a one-fight Bellator contract and you win that fight, you have a good chance of getting drug tested at the end. Now, I'm not saying for PEDs, but I do know for at least marijuana or amphetamines or coke or, you know, shit like that.
Oh, wow, I see. Well, you got to have that at the higher levels, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just crazy. But yeah, go on.
I didn't mind, you know, not having a drug test for a regular fight. You know what I mean? Because then I could smoke weed.
Yeah, definitely. But when you're starting to go fight though, and you get close to the competition, you're not smoking like close to the day. You know, it's not. You can't be retarded with it. So like, what was your experimentation with it? Did you stop smoking a week before, or are there or
I would smoke before my weigh-in.
Wow.
Like I was smoking before and after my weigh-in, and then on fight day I didn't smoke.
oh, that's crazy. So did you feel like a burnt feeling, or were you fine? Like, what was your
Fired
perspective?
on all cylinders.
Damn.
You could see it in my fights.
Yes.
Unless if it wasn't a title fight, if it was a title fight, I was clean probably 3 weeks out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Okay.
if 5 of those fights weren't title fights, so if it wasn't a title fight, I was burning all the way up to the day.
Dude, that's you're I would say basically, you're my hero. That's crazy. I can't even believe that. It's amazing that you can get away with that.
It's not just me.
Oh, no way. Not just you, of course not. But it blows my mind though that you could pretty much go and do that, and yeah, because a lot of people would think that it would take your mind off of fighting, or you wouldn't be sharp.
I was sharp. Yeah, I fired on all cylinders. It wasn't. Weed never distorted me. I always felt it made me more precise.
Mm.
'Cause, you read a book on weed and you're high and shit like that, and you come across something interesting and be like, "Oh, damn, that's fucking dope." You know what I mean? But if you're just reading it sober, it's
Yeah.
just a dope line.
Mm.
But you're really gonna take that shit into consideration when you're high. You know what I mean? So when you're striking or you're on the ground and you're the shit's just flowing.
Things tend to resonate.
I trained
more.
every day high, every day, before and after.
Especially with jujitsu, a lot of people do ground and they'll try and roll like high.
Yeah, they have competitions like this. It's like mandatory to smoke before.
Yeah, the high
You ever
rollers.
see those?
Yeah, the high roller thing. Yeah, we would love if we were closer. We'd love to film stuff like that. How do you think?
Yeah.
Like, of course you're gonna agree with this, but they got Joe Schilling wanted to do a striking version of that, where everybody smokes and you kickbox or whatever.
It doesn't. Like I said, I trained almost every day high. I never was like, damn, this is gonna fuck me up. I shouldn't do it.
So what about striking? So if somebody's hitting you in the face and you're kind of high, do you feel that makes you more aware? Like, how does that react?
I never had a problem with it. And neither did my buddy who, we'd drive to practice every day, and it was smoking ride to practice every single day, and we never had issues with like.
It makes the ride go quicker.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially from
gets the
hand.
juices flowing. Right, gets the juices flowing, and to be honest, I felt it did me a better service compared to when I was sober. You got to think, when you're sober, your mind races a lot, and you almost tend to think more of the bad than the good.
Right.
But when you're high, you think about the good.
Yeah, that's someone's mindset right there. Be positive on your shit. So what about you now? Are you positive on the outlook of your, like, when you think about your goals in your life, right? You keep that same flow, even though you're not smoking?
Yeah, like I said, now like the maturity is set in. I'm 27, and a house is in play. A family one day is in play. You got to start thinking outside the box. And I was always thinking inside the box. So as far as goals and stuff like that, it's more of I don't want to say a normal life, but a better life for not just me, but for me and my family. You know what I mean? Whether it's buying a bunch of land and building a big enough house to where, I can take care of my dad one day, or, having a big enough property to build a big house and then a small house. Not too crazy. I'm not trying to live in the White House, but something decent, like 4 or 5 bedrooms, whether, because I want to have kids one day, you know what I mean? And that shit ain't free. And I want to have
No, sir.
land. I want to have 4-wheelers, dirt bikes, horses, shit like that,
Yeah, I love it.
that small town shit.
Because you kind of need that, like, yeah, it isn't cheap, and at the same time, yeah, if you like that small town mentality, like, you're gonna want all the dirt bikes, you're gonna want like that, just big land, like you're not about a city, so of course.
Right, and I never had that growing up. You know what I mean? And no knock towards my dad or anything like that, but he was always worried because I was a problem child. They don't call me the hooligan for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I was legit a fucking hooligan, a troublemaker, and I was wild. I was very wild, and my dad never wanted me to have a four-wheeler or a dirt bike, and it was always just hard work and dedication with him. He owned his own business. I had to go help him growing up. It was a construction business, hard work. And I think any kid, like, should want this. I want better for my family. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's not a knock on my dad at all. Fuck. I would die for my dad, and I mean that in a literal sense. Not knocking him at all, but I want, my kids to never, have to worry about anything, being bored, shit like that. Like, and I'm not just saying that's something to worry about, but I'm just saying, like, a four-wheeler, a dirt bike, a horse, shit like that. That's how you get bored doing that. My kid ain't going to be raised on a fucking tablet, I'll tell you.
Yeah, there's more to life than just on the screen, for sure.
It's an experience. It's a way of life.
Dude, yeah. And I mean, I got a niece and nephew right now, dude. That tablet, fuck, dude, I ain't never seen a temper tantrum like that.
Well, I don't know if you know, Steve Jobs didn't even let his kid have an iPhone until they were like 14 or 13 or something. So if you think about that, these kids are growing up with like the tablets and their cell phones that are only like 5 years old.
Yeah. No, yeah. And like Bill Gates doesn't have his kids vaccinated and shit like that. Like,
Surprised.
they know the damn game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I guess his kids don't use Windows either.
No, I mean, you're right though about the Steve Jobs shit. And it's not surprising. Most of the people that make apps, as far as like Facebook, Instagram, their kids can't have those.
Because they're fucking addictive. They're made to be addictive.
Right. All the algorithms and shit like that, it's made to benefit what you want. My Instagram feed ain't going to be like your Instagram feed. And they know that.
Yeah, it tries to give you like the biggest mental reward for like the littlest effort.
Yes, just keep scrolling.
Swipe.
That satisfaction. We all do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a reason they don't have their kids that allow that.
Yeah. And even older people, like my mom is in her 60s. She's freaking got the phone like she's 16. She can't stop looking at shit. I'll be like, Mom, you listen to me? Huh? Yeah. And it's like, dude, early 2000s, right? 2008, we started to have kind of smartphones. I didn't have it all my life, but I'm closer to it than you. Someone that's way older can get addicted as well because they've never even had it until like 5 years ago or less.
Right. My dad always had a flip phone growing up. Always. And was like against smartphones.
Oh, no
and then
shit.
his ass and then he got an iPhone. And he's the same way. He's the same way.
It's a dopamine machine,
Yeah, and it's addictive.
Especially for like when your mind's racing and you don't want to think about things, just easy to pick up the phone.
Forget about your life for a sec, right?
Yeah, it's always there. You can't get rid of it.
And on the worst token, you're looking at other people happy as shit, and you're like, dude, I don't fucking feel too good about my life.
Yeah, then that's why I don't have Facebook or Twitter. The only thing I have is Instagram and Snapchat. And I get rid of my Instagram. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's sometimes I'll be gone for 3 to 4 months, and that's just
Right.
The shit is too much, man.
100%. Like if I didn't go and do this as a business, like I don't know if you have me on a personal, but like yeah, I don't do too much either because it's the same thing. It takes so much energy out of you. Sometimes you feel like crap because of it. You know. As a business, you got to do it, but as a person, it takes more from you.
Right. When I was fighting, I will say it was every day I was posting something. You know, get ready, blah blah blah. Here's a picture. You know, and that's just promotion. You know, the promotion of you are selling yourself as a business. You know what I mean? So you just got to promote, and I don't miss that at all.
But you think about it, interestingly, that wasn't there 20 years ago, or like fighters that we liked. Like Randy Couture didn't have to go, when nobody knew who he was, to go put his fights on a phone and let everybody know. So it is cool.
That was like your dad's magazine, you know, that's if you were a MMA head back then, that's where you got your shit from, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Magazines and like underground websites, you know, or when YouTube came along, that helped a lot too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was hard to get the information years ago. There was no one spot to get everything.
And now there's everything.
Right.
You got BJJ Fanatics. You got striking stuff. There's like a plethora of information. And I'm gonna call people. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna call people out on this. You know, sometimes you get so much information too, because a lot of the secrets of striking is out there more than ever. And a lot of secrets of grappling. But when you get so much information, and you're buying all these stuff, it actually stifles you, because if you don't have like one or two things to look at and master, you actually just have a plethora of things you don't understand, and you have it on such a low level that your ass is going to get beat. It's not like you practice one move 1,000 times, you know? So what do you think about that? Even though there's more information than there ever is, do you think that also stifles people trying to become fighters?
I don't know. I never went online to really learn shit. You know, it was always I live with Shohar. That was my roommate. You know, and we get home, we would go practice. And another thing is I always learn jiu-jitsu in threes. You know, threes, transition. You know, get somebody in your guard, transition triangle, transition arm bar.
Oh, I
You
see.
know, so I learned shit in threes. That's easy, you know. But it was always hands-on learning for me, so I can't really say.
Well, that's almost what I'm saying is like hands-on, even if you learn a skill from a tape, you got to train that to understand that skill. That's still hands-on. So I'm almost saying what you are saying, like it doesn't matter how much you can watch, like if you're not applying that skill, you're not going to have any knowledge.
Yeah, yep. I agree with you there. Consistency carries conviction. So if you're not consistent with that one move, it's not, you know,
I like that.
allowable for the tool bag.
Sometimes it's just good to have a few tools that just work instead of the whole tool shed. There's a shitty tractor in there and it fucking leaks oil, you know? Like some tools don't fucking work, you know?
Right. Shohar and Steve always, you know, preach simplicity wins fights. And for the most part, you know, that's right. You know, you look at Buckley with that 2-touch kick. Impressive as fuck, but that's the first one ever. Simplicity, and there's only been 4 or 3 like roundhouse kicks in the UFC. So all those other fights like are usually just won off simplicity.
And then people learn from it, you know, like front kicks were what Anderson Silva, and then now I'm seeing front kicks everywhere, you know, now
all the time. Dude, the game is evolving like crazy, you know.
100%.
It's crazy. I'm sure there's 16-year-old out there, somebody that could kick my ass.
I don't even know, dude. Think of 5 years from now. It's going to be, you know, what pros look like right now will going to be what amateurs look like soon.
Dude, there's a 18-year-old female I train with, Abby, and Dude, you will see her in the UFC someday.
Wow, really?
Abby Ewing, yeah. You will see her in the
Ewing,
UFC.
she's premier?
Yeah, Premier MMA. Yeah.
Word.
She'll be in the UFC.
Got a lot of talent coming out of the Midwest, man.
And shout out to Memnon. He's doing tryouts. He's actually like protegeing like 5-10 people. I thought that was cool.
Hell yeah. Emmanuel's probably most powerful fucking weapon is his mind.
Yeah.
That dude's got a different mindset.
Absolutely. I think it's everybody. If you don't have a good mind, like even let's just put your warrior mindset. Like you told me, like I didn't want to interrupt you because it was such a good flow, but it's true. You just get in there. You're like, I did a prayer. Like this is like life or death for me. Like all comes to life. Everything you fucking do is a mindset, and you want to fucking like kill things that you want to accomplish with that mindset.
Well, you literally read, a death certificate before you go in there. You sign a contract. You're signing your life away. You read you can die. So yeah, that was my mindset. That's not my mindset when I go into work, but my mindset is, bust your ass. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Work hard. Do it, do it to the best or don't do it at all. My dad told me that growing up.
Well, even if working hard, look how many years you were doing MMA. Tell everybody how many years you've been doing MMA.
2016, so this December will be 4 years.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it's amazing how much you like. Go by your dad and work ethic, all that stuff that it made you accomplish. Like what takes you 2, 3 years, 4 years, that would take people way longer to accomplish maybe that goal because of mind.
And it's consistency. Consistency carries conviction, and it was every day. I never found a subject that I really liked. Like, I can honestly say basketball didn't even intrigue me as much as fighting did. When I started learning it and realizing, like, yo, this shit is dope. Like, to watch it are two different things,
Oh yeah.
Most people are scared of conflict. I've never been that way. I've always enjoyed fighting, My junior and senior year, I got kicked off the basketball team for fighting.
Oh, shit.
And, I mean, that's just always been me. So I don't know why it took me so long to get into it. That was my only thing, because I was like 23 or 24 when I started. And I had never wrestled. The only thing I've done is fight outside of the cage. And like I said, that doesn't mean shit. Once you walk into an MMA gym, you're nothing. And that will humble you.
100%, man. If you could give, I'm gonna give you like if you could give anybody who came up to you and they were like, man, I really think it's cool what you did, and someone maybe have asked you this before, like if I could go and do an amateur career or like wanted to start in MMA, like what would you tell somebody that walked up to you and maybe asked you something like that?
If they asked me, hey, what do you think about me fighting?
Right.
Something like that.
Something like that. And he said, got it.
Why? What makes you don't do it because I did it? If they're like coming at me like that, like on some, I really like what you did. What do you think about me fighting? I'm gonna say why. Why do you want to do it? Because if you ain't going in there with the mindset that, I can honestly say a lot of people do it for attention, and that was never my aspiration to start fighting. Was to do it it was a release for me, and you can't. The wrong reasons will fuck you up in this game. And if somebody came up to me and said that, I would literally be like, why? What is your motive behind it? What fuel for the fire do you have to make you want to decide to get punched in the face?
Well,
You
I
know?
agree with that. So what if someone was like, okay, I'm doing it to test myself as a martial artist. That's one thing. And what if there was a couple of bad mindsets, of course, to just be like you're saying, I just want to do it to do it. I just want to do it for attention.
Well, if they want to get into it for the simple fact of just, martial arts or, like a challenge for themselves, that's beautiful. That's that's a great mindset to have because you're challenging yourself, right? You're not trying to impress anybody, you're just trying to challenge yourself. But as far as the other mindset, I would say you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And if I were you, I wouldn't even waste my time because you're going to get hurt.
Again, you go into that mindset, a different energy you're bringing with that goal changes it entirely.
Yes. I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself. So that's just what I felt,
I feel like
It's, back in 2000, I had a cousin who fought Scotty. And back then it was sign up and, it was like the band days. Like it was almost like frowned upon still, cockfighting for humans, shit like that was going on. And back then it was you're fighting somebody who's not even training. You know what I mean? Nowadays, you're fighting black belts at the amateur level.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And if you're not, busting your ass every day, you're wasting your time. I still carry that mindset with me. And I ain't got no fights coming up. You know what I mean? I still carry that do something today mindset. Like, you have to do something today.
I'll leave it one last question. And of course, mindset is what you got from martial arts, but like, what can you tell people what martial arts has given you aside from, I guess, simple mindset?
Clarity.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was always really, really foggy. Like I was thinking like, damn, I just want to be normal. I just want to be normal. That's all I used to say when I was growing up because I was always fucking shit up. And it gave me clarity. When I started fighting, I had a lot of demons. I didn't know how to handle them. You know what I mean? And fighting definitely gave me a lot of clarity on my life, on, aspects of life, what I can forgive, what I can, understand about other people, It just really gave me clarity with how I viewed certain people, how I, treated people, what to do if you're being treated a certain way. Before, I was just such a head case. Like, if you came up to me, I didn't know you, and you said some negative type shit to me, I would fuck you up. Boom, like that. Like, I'm throwing no ifs, ands, or buts. But with MMA and fighting, if you don't touch me or if you don't offer money, I'm not fighting you. You can say what you want. You know what I mean? It's just, fighting brought me clarity. And it still does every day.
And a little bit of patience, it seems, a little bit, right?
Yeah, but I'm still impatient. Like, that's why I don't like going to the city, because that traffic is a bitch.
Of course.
Yeah, it definitely brought me patience. So I'm still a little impatient, but I'm still learning.
Good answer.
And anything else you wanted to say about life, man, or anything before we exit? It's been a pleasure talking to you, Alan Baum.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. You know what I mean? I'm glad we finally got to talk over this almost Skype type thing.
Yeah,
It's been
How
long
cool-
overdue.
it's been super overdue, and it's cool that I get to actually talk to you in person. Like, this is the first time I get to, and maybe the next time will be truly face to face.
Right. That's what I was just about to say. Is hopefully we can get together, kick it, and maybe go ride some mountain bikes and
Fuck yeah,
shit like
dude.
that.
I'll tell you a little bit of our plan. A little bit is we're hoping to get some point a trailer going. I'm gonna travel around to different gyms. I'm gonna travel around like you guys and even just hang out with you guys, film something, and go around the country, just showing and exposing martial arts all over the United States.
Yeah. I mean, that's a hell of an idea because I don't think anybody's doing it.
Yeah, right.
To be the first is the best. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah,
In
dude.
anything.
Putting that flagpole in there, like shit's mine. I'm
Right.
doing it. And you know what?
Right.
It's okay to be second too, because you also can do it better than someone else did.
Yeah. No.
No.
I don't. That's just me. That's just me.
So Pepsi or Coca-Cola? Like there's kind of a thing.
I'm more of like the first or last type thing.
So Coca-Cola? I don't know who was first. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. But yeah, man, we got
On
some
that
plans. But yeah, man, we got some plans this summer to come up the Midwest.
Hang out with you guys. We're gonna film something probably with Memnon. Of course, we're gonna hang out with you, man, and just go scope out the landscape.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting back in the scene, so it'll be fun.
Definitely.
I'll be seeing you at the gym.
Hell yeah,
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, man. Show me some of your old secrets. You know what I'm saying?
Some
And,
guillotines.
oh, dude, your guillotines are legendary. If anybody's watching this, we also made an awesome highlight, and it's actually one of my favorite highlights because we don't make too many rock metal kind of ones, and yours came out perfect with that. So if anyone wants a really
Dude,
cool highlight,
I never heard that song before, and
it's totally.
that was a dope ass highlight, dude. That song, I still listen to it when I'm on runs. And shit.
That's awesome.
Fuck yeah, dude. That
Yeah.
band,
King Buffalo.
man. They're good. It's a weird name,
Yeah,
but it works.
Trippy and heavy.
And that whole video flows. Why am I so low?
Yeah. Don't. Yup.
Yeah.
And the
that's
black and
dope.
white with it, was really artsy. We honestly,
Yeah.
when we did your video, it was like the first time we actually kind of were like, wow, we're making really good highlights that I don't think anybody's doing. Because that was one of the things me and Jake were like, who's really making highlights of guys nobody really knows yet?
Well, I was doing all the highlights at first.
Well, you were, but we're just saying like the way when we did yours, that's when I think we got really good at it.
Yeah, there's like an artistic touch
Yeah.
to it.
100%.
I remember showing a bunch of my friends, and they were like, "Have them make me one." I was just like, nah.
We even did
because I'm not
Peyton.
that-
We even did Peyton. His first
Yeah.
pro debut.
But yeah, that stuff takes a lot of time.
Oh yeah.
That I knew that aspect, but so at the time I just came to you guys because of Emmanuel. Emmanuel brought me to you guys, and I didn't really know you guys.
Mhm.
So I don't really know these guys. I'm not gonna make them feel like I'm using them.
Hmm.
So I just told the dude no. That's
Exactly.
what it was.
But the more and more we watched your fights, we're like, man, this guy can really fight for how long he's been training.
Yeah, I thought it was stupid not to take a chance on you. I'm like, I don't know, because he's good at it. Because not everybody has that it's funny that you don't do it anymore, and it's completely fine because it complements your life and where you're at. But man, I just want to say, when you fought, you had that fighter it factor. Like, you were there and were a fucking fighter. You didn't hide. You weren't hiding behind anything. You was you. You wanted to fight.
Yeah, you're not the first people to tell me that. And I appreciate it. I really do. When people say, like, why don't you do it no more? It's just like, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why I don't fucking do it.
Maybe we could do that on the next podcast.
Yeah, because we definitely have you back on. We'll go right from there. Why you don't want to do it anymore, Why? There's so many reasons. Because there's more to life than fighting, as much as I love it. So, and I love you, buddy. It was awesome talking to you, Alan. We'll just keep you on the flip side.
Good talking, homie.
100%. Likewise. If anybody liked what they saw, you can go and buy cool gear. We have shirts, we got hoodies, we're gonna have rash guards up soon. Go to Warrior
His
Republic.
buddy
MMA.
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel is sponsored. Emmanuel Pugh. So if you want Memnon Warrior gear, you know, we also have that on our site at warriorrepublicmma.com. That's warriorrepublicmma.com. It was a pleasure, my friend. I'll see you later. Peace.
All my people, go check that out.
There you go. Thanks, my friend. Boom.
No problem. Peace out,
Peace
brother.
out, brother.